about to see student elections.
Those elections offer you the opportunity to exercise your right to vote for the students you believe will champion the views of the diverse students based here at the university.
We are running to be one of your two current presidents for this year.
While we then took presidency acts,
You asked your union to ensure that there was a greater gender equality across all roles. So we have split each role into two, with one position reserved for a student who identifies as a man or non-binary, and one for a student who identifies as a woman.
As a co-president, it will be your responsibility to support students on educational, academic, teaching, and learning matters.
By taking feedback on your student experience, for example, concerns, recommendations, or celebrations of excellent practices to the various committees around the university, including all the way to the top, to the Board of Governors.
working alongside the university, we will ensure changes are made to enhance your learning experience.
Head over to www.bedsu.co.uk/student-elections to read more about our manifestos and how you can vote for your first ever co-president.
Voting opened 8th of March.
Thank you for watching and voting.
Excellency doesn't distinguish between genders. That's why we say institutions with gender equality outperforming the ones with the least. Gender equality is important to the officer team because it promotes quick decision-making and a holistic view on issues affecting the institutions.
We have to make sure that all student voices are powerful and that every one of our students are represented equally by their chosen sabbatical officers. To do this, we must offer every gender an equal opportunity to represent the student voice to their fullest potential. As our student population is diverse, so does their officers must be, to ensure that all voices are represented.
I think it's really important to have gender balance within the SU role. As a student will come up to one of us for a problem, I think it's really important to deliver it to a certain person, especially on the question itself. So this is why we have to be diverse and every person has to have a range of qualities and roles under their belt.
Yeah, the overall objective of gender equality is a society in which women and men and other gender can enjoy the same opportunities and benefits. Gender balance makes our university communities safer and healthier.
So, while we reflect upon possible educational changes, we must not forget that our fellow students on other campuses, such as Birmingham, don't have the basic needs covered to study in a proper educational environment. As far as I'm aware, there are not enough bathrooms or books in their library, and these examples can continue further. Following this, I'd argue that fighting for our students' voices to reach the top should be our priority.
I've understood that students complain about the lack of access to Turnitin before submitting the assignment. I believe that students should have access to this service. Turnitin is an important part of assessment, as this will enable students to produce authentic academic works.
Due to the COVID-19 lockdown and the pandemic, I believe support should be on the increase between university and students. This can be the increase in DSA funding, as well as mandatory teachings between tutors and students, as well as access to research articles that need online.
The education change aims the university improvement in one way or another way. The ultimate goal for the university improvement is the improvement of student learning conditions, where each and every student understand the concept where he is learning.
By organizing events for students, we'll provide an avenue for students to provide feedback on their student experience. Also, by ensuring that they participate in survey hosted by the National Student Survey and ensure that their feedback is given priority. Thank you.
I'd make sure student feedback is heard by arranging meetings with students so I can take first-hand knowledge of what needs to improve, what problems they have and how to solve them, as well as talking to them first-hand in activities that the SU would arrange.
So the war for student voice has started. I will continue to fight to get course reps and their cohorts' voices heard and push forward the new way of virtual feedback through the new student voice online forums and the student voice forums. As your co-president, I will bring your voice to the top and fight for positive results using my activist spirit, be it in front of the vice chancellor or in front of entire departments that have to do right for you.
I will make sure each and every student feedback is valued, and also the new ideas and the visions are considered which are helpful for students and their future. And I make sure each and every student voice is considered, heard and applied. Thank you.
I'd like to help students, support students at university. This can be done by increasing amount of jobs they can actually take at university. For example, the COVID tester role, which happens at University of Bedfordshire as Luton campus as well as Bedford campus.
Reduction in the fees of the university's accommodation, as this will go a long way in helping students financially. Secondly, encourage students to apply for the COVID relief fund before it runs out. And lastly, ensure international students get certain benefits in order to help them sustain themselves financially. Thank you.
I will fight on both grounds, with lobbying the government using our voices to join national movements for refunding your tuition fees in a pandemic, and lobbying the university to explore other ways our students could be financially supported other than the government's COVID hardship fund. For example, we could be the promised CLV refund. If you're not aware of this fund, UOB has received one of the biggest allocations of hardship funds in the UK.
Yeah, it's been a hard time. We can support students by providing them academic, social, and personal support, interacting them, and we can provide them by giving scholarships and hardship funds, where we can support them financially. Yeah, the best thing happened in the lockdown was building on my strength and managing my weakness, and I spent some quality time with my family and friends. And the other best thing I have learned from this lockdown was that education has no barriers.
I'd argue the best thing about lockdown was the adaptability with which both students and the university had to cope with a new way of teaching and learning online. So following our student voice forums last term, there was a lot of feedback passed on to the university about students being unhappy about pre-recorded online teaching as they had no opportunity to interact. After personally lobbying the uni, they quickly updated their stance to ensure the students also receive live online classes.
One of the best things that's happened during the lockdown is the positive impact on the planet. We've gotten a break from energy consumption, car pollution, air pollution, and generally environmental footprint. Forecast predicts that the pandemic will cause a 2 to 3 billion drop in CO2, which is very good for the planet.
Best thing for me personally during lockdown is having less distractions so I can get on my uni work.
SU student elections.
These elections offer you the opportunity to exercise your right to vote for the students you believe will champion the views of the diverse student base here at the university.
We are running to be one of your 2 co-presidents for this year.
Why will there be 2 co-presidents, you ask? You asked your union to ensure there was greater gender equality.
So we have split each role into 2, with one position reserved for a student who identifies as a man or non-binary, and one for a student who identifies as a woman.
As a co-president, it will be our responsibility to support students on educational, academic, teaching and learning matters.
By taking feedback on your student experience, be it concerns, recommendations, or celebrations of excellent practice to the various committees around the university.
Working alongside the university, we will ensure changes are made to enhance your learning experience.
Head over to www.bedssu.co.uk/student election.
Voting opens 8th of March. Thank you for watching and voting. Studies show that organisations who have women at board level outperform counterparts who do not. I believe it's important that we have a leadership team which accurately reflects our student body, which is 58% female. Limiting beliefs must be challenged because diversity is here to stay.
The importance of having a strong people skills, the ability to work within the citizens, either in a professional way or in a university campus. It doesn't mean to differentiate the 2 variants of the gender difference. It means the ability to work in a different passion way with a strong ability. The biggest educational change in student life is providing e-learnings and other library activities which help the students to improve their lack of knowledge and provide a good marks in their university life.
At the business school, we are privileged to have some great visiting lecturers. On occasion, these lecturers are completely new to the faculty and have no access to BRIO or university databases. In these instances, there are delays and other issues, which I believe can be avoided and improved.
I'll make sure to take the feedback from every student with conducting meetings every often in a week. And according to their feedback, the improvements has been changed and I'll be conducting a student complaint box.
As co-president, hearing your voice is my first priority. I will demonstrate this by having an open door policy at set times where I will avail myself to you. In addition, I will collaborate internally to ensure your issues are escalated.
Pandemic made a great change in the student life. I'll make sure to take the feedback from the student who has suffered for the financially and work out according to their needs. And I promise to give you the best to the students.
The COVID Hardship Fund was a great initiative which will help many students this year. I also suggest the possibility of an on-campus pop-up shop offering essential groceries at subsidised prices, also an SU food bank. Finally, better signposting to the counselling and pastoral services available to students.
I personally feel the best thing in this lockdown is staying together with a family, connecting to each other, spending time sharing their moments with each other. I think this is one of the best thing happened during the COVID pandemic.
The best thing about lockdown for me was being reminded of the value of face-to-face contact. Our digitized world totally forgot the benefit of simple joys such as connecting with somebody just to have a hug and a coffee. And also how resilient we can be as students. We've made it through these uncharted waters together. So pat on the back for us all.
Hi guys, welcome to the BASH Student Union student elections.
These elections offer you the opportunity to exercise your right to vote for the students you believe will champion the views of the diverse student base here at the university.
We are running to be one of your co-vice presidents, campus experience and equality.
Why would there be two co-vice presidents, you ask?
You ask the union for the greater gender equality across the roles.
So we have split each role into two, with one position reserved for a student who identifies as man or non-binary, and one for a student that identifies as a woman.
As a co-vice president campus experience and equality, it will be our responsibility to support students in building and promoting positive community relations,
including those between different student groups within our student population, from those groups focused on celebrating and championing diversity or shared interests, such as societies.
To our relationships with the local communities around our university campuses.
Head over to www.badsu.co.uk/student-election to read more about our manifesto and how you can vote for your first ever co-vice president.
Voting opens on the 8th of March.
Thank you for watching and voting.
Communicating with all students in every campus using all available means and letting them understand that their ideas are valued and will be treated with importance and analyzed to be put into effect. So we need to make sure that I'm there.
So for me, I'll start, yeah. So for me personally, I'll make some students group so they can connect directly to the students. Yeah, and they can provide them some feedback. They can ask for a feedback directly from the students. So their student feel like they are the part of the team. They are part of student union.
I will work directly with the liaison officers in every campus to make sure their information, their queries and complaints are heard by the central body. And wherever they don't, in case where they don't have, we have to create one for every campus.
In my mind, which is like I will do make a student of different campus feel connected. And one union is that I will strive to build a strong communicating platform for them where they can share their stories, issues, and get in touch with different campus of BATS.
I will ensure that each campus has an individual representative working for the SU to make sure that the student views are heard and that they have someone to voice their opinions and concerns to, as well as running more events throughout all campuses to create a bigger sense of community.
Closely work with the campus liaison offices to ensure student voice being heard, getting the feedback from students and providing right supports when they need help.
Developing programs that gets help to support students in great need, creating voluntary work translation program for help in all sectors, finding accommodation, language issues, create study groups, organizing event like Diversing Week where all the people can showcase their culture and skills.
Every student from disadvantaged background will be represented, both the BAME, the adult students who are suffering from because of family issues and everything, they will be recognized and represented.
Equality is the most important factor to be followed, though the population is diverse. And I'm going to try helping out whatsoever they need. So humanity is the concept. Humanity leads to brotherhood. Brotherhood leads to peace. Peace leads to love, and love never fails.
Encouraging students to join the Liberation Network as they're there to help students who are historically disadvantaged. Joining the Liberation Network will allow students to create their own policy or campaign for change, or asking the university to publish Blackouting Gap, which will reduce the issue for the students who are historically disadvantaged.
I believe a separate team within the SU should be created to ensure that student groups feel like they are well represented and receive adequate support, as well as allowing students to run themed events celebrating their cultures.
The answer of question number 2 is I working on the principles of equity. I will do my best to serve them. There will be no one superior to other, and those groups that are having some issues constantly will be focused first.
Fostering student community. Okay, I will make sure I create different campaign groups to help students be aware of these communities. That's number 1. Information must be provided by the union to be available for every student to send to their individual community group.
Student communities are students with similar interests under one roof, and it builds team spirit and destroys the difference. The point is to break the difference and bring equality. So after all, a good society is a functioning group of interlinked communities.
Bringing students in one platform is really important, especially when you're one of the most diverse universities in the UK. The society that connects students with the same interest, raising money for the charity or creating social events. So it will be my priority to encourage students to get involved with societies and bring them together for better student communities.
The answer of question number 3 is I will foster student communities by increasing their social presence, engaging them virtually, also by providing them best possible environment to flourish at best.
Fostering student communities is crucial as it allows all students to come together and feel like they are really making an impact within the university, as well as creating a more united student base in which all students feel welcome and appreciated.
Now, there are many ways we can help or guide the foster students, like campaign or donate books. We can help them supply books, career guidance program, health services, food assistance, how to deal with COVID situations, do pep talks with them, and also some paid jobs for them in the university. Thanks. We can create some content on motivation, pep talks, videos to overcome your weakness and depression. We can create some content on motivation, pep talks, videos to overcome your weakness, depressions, arrange some one-to-one interactions talk where students can discuss what their issues and problems, or offer some free short online work activities where students can learn something new, like cooking classes, learning guitars.
I will encourage every student with like mind to join a group and form a team for themselves, or maybe depends on maybe personal exercise, sports of like the one they like, bicycle riding or any kind of sports, but people with different individual group, I will encourage this and make sure I pass it on.
As a member of both the hockey and cheer team, I believe even though the SU no longer runs sports, we should continue to be a part of the teams through means of advertising events and continuing to allow teams to utilize our premises for events such as socials.
Let's explore other options with inputs from the students. We need to survey for data, analyze them, form and structure groups as required, and help and support them to actually keep them trained. And this may be using personalized videos that can train, keep them ready for the upcoming events. The lockdown is never permanent, guys.
Since due to COVID-19, sport are not running, but I believe that sport and physical activities are good for mental health and improving concentration. So I will engage team online in physical and cognitive activities like physical activity sessions or online quiz or some general knowledge question answer and another online activities which very catchy and engaging the people and student with me and my team.
I'll closely work with the sports teams, education and sports faculty to ensure sports are all represented among students and explore their feedback for better sports experience, building an allyship and support them in their needs. Lockdown gave us an opportunity to find a new way to engage students that we've never done before. The lockdown encouraged us how student voice can be heard from different groups of students, such as commuter students, satellite campuses students, metro students, international students, as the lockdown physically kept all the students group far away, but also showed us an unique way to engage all the students fairly.
The answer of question number 5 is I believe that every adversity has a positivity. In it, the one thing that is positive happened in this lockdown is people focusing on their health and themselves, which was quite low before lockdown.
During this lockdown, the people who work continuously, they got time to spend with their families. And for me, me and my brother started charity work from his restaurant. We have sent out around 225,000 meals around London, like NHS, vulnerables, self-isolated.
For me, COVID has allowed me to concentrate on myself more, allowing me to publish academic papers in international computing conferences. Alongside this, I currently compete as a national level bodybuilder. During this time, I have been able to focus better on my training and diet in the hopes of achieving my pro card in June.
Yeah, the lockdown has helped me develop more personal skills. I never knew I can barb, but I started practicing this during the lockdown. I also volunteer with the NHS recruitment, fast recruitment, and also lockdown has helped me put more interest in my academics. I get more good grades since the lockdown.
Times have been difficult, but I've managed noticing that everyone as a human race is fighting against a pandemic. So unity is diversity is what's the best part about the lockdown.
Welcome to Best SU Student Elections.
These elections offer you the opportunity to exercise your right to vote for the students you believe will champion the views of a diverse student base here at the university.
We are running to be one of your 2 co-presidents this year.
Why would there be 2 co-vice presidents, you ask?
You ask your union to ensure that was greater gender equality across all roles. We have split each role into 2, with 1 position reserved for non-binary and 1 position for a woman.
As a co-vice president, campus experience and equality, it will be our responsibility to support students in building and promoting positive community relations, including those between different groups within our student population, from those groups focused on celebrating and championing diversity or shared interests such as societies, to our relationships with the local communities around our university campuses.
Head over to betcu.co.uk to read more about our manifestos and how you can vote.
Voting opens at 8th of March.
Thank you for watching and voting.
I would host more Beds SU events on different campuses as part of a campus scheme, which would give students the opportunity to visit different campuses and experience what other campuses are like, providing other students with campus experience.
I will open more entertainment venues after lockdown because all the students start to feel very bored during this lockdown, and I want to open more venues.
We have to work to improve workplace teamwork. That's why I'll make seminars and conferences where we can discuss local and global issues and also what students like or dislike. We all build our lives, and all colors of this masterpiece depend on us. That's why I'll support every student to create a beautiful picture, because every student has abilities, potential, and values to do that. One community, one heart.
Through creating opportunities for societies and liberation networks to host more events at the BEDSU, both online and on campus, giving these students the opportunity to educate their other students and reduce stigma and discrimination that these students face.
I will meet with different groups of students and I will talk with them.
In terms of fostering, I'll make different competitions and I'll give awards to students, which will contribute for better environment.
At the heart of the SU is our student community, and within this community are students from different backgrounds with different talents. We should celebrate our differences through social events, learning opportunities, etc., making students feel included and strengthen the bond between the students and the uni.
I will collaborate with all the students and I will support them and I will make meetings with students. I will make more competition with sports. I will encourage all the students to go in sport competition.
While the SU doesn't run sports, it still supports students that are active in sports teams. Good communication is therefore important between sports teams and the SU. Through holding meetings with sports teams and the university, we can keep them up to date with decisions made that impact them.
Sport improves not only our physical state, but our mental health as well. That's why we have to do sport every day. Healthy body, healthy mind.
For me, lockdown made me to have more time to study, to have more time for sport and volunteering for Enactus Bedfordshire as head of commercial activities treasurer.
Lockdown gave me the opportunity to set myself goals and work on those with minimal distractions. I was able to improve my physical and mental health and practice mindfulness. While I've missed my family and friends, I'm grateful that I was able to work on myself during this difficult time.
During this lockdown, I understood once again that the lives of people who I love are the most important and more important than my own life. The best thing which I did is that I started to run in the park